Hey guys, Zach with Too Heavy Wrestling Podcast, and welcome again to another episode of the 30 Days of WrestleMania. In this episode, it's once in a lifetime with John Cena and The Rock, or for what we thought. But yes, this episode is about the first match between the two of John Cena and The Rock at WrestleMania 28. And what a crazy time this was. This was a peak John Cena. We have The Rock, who was coming to host that year's WrestleMania. We had The Miz as WWE Champion. It was definitely a different time for the WWE, but that's where this all started. It started at that WrestleMania 27, in which The Rock had cost John Cena the WWE Championship, which then, the next night, at the Raw after WrestleMania, we started the year-long build to WrestleMania 28, which was the once-in-a-lifetime matchup between John Cena and The Rock. And that was probably one of the first times and only times we have seen something like that. And again, I say what a time it was because we also didn't get here's the match for next year, and then The Rock was gone until the next year. We got The Rock on multiple occasions, even for a match at that year's Survivor Series where he had actually tagged with John Cena and versed R-Truth and The Miz. And basically this feud was basically a one-up on each other as much as they could, where The Rock would show off, John Cena would be able to show off, they'd have promos against each other. The Rock would be gone most of the time, but come back and do his own thing. John Cena showing that he was there every week. And then, of course, the week before WrestleMania, Rock got the last laugh by coming out during John Cena's match with Mark Henry, giving a rock bottom to Mark Henry to send a message to John Cena before that said match to happen in that week. And this match was a once-in-a-lifetime thing at the time. Of course, we got another match between the two the next year following, because as this match went on, we find that John Cena had lost, and that started a fall of John Cena in which he did not feel he got to accomplish what he wanted to, which was beating The Rock. And we got a downward spiral of John Cena for a while as we waited for confirmation that they were going to verse again, in which we ultimately did. And we're not talking about that match in this series, but John Cena ultimately got his win back. And, again, old school, new school, early 90s or late 90s to mid 2000s wrestler versus wrestler peak at the time. The Rock was in great shape. He was just now getting into his movie peak of his career with what he was doing, and he's still going to this day, of course. John Cena has even came back and said now, just because John Cena is the one in Hollywood who's coming back to do part-time roles with WWE, who was also in a match this year against an up-and-comer in Austin Theory for the United States Championship. But what goes around comes around, and John Cena has even apologized to The Rock because he's now in his shoes for what that feud was built off of. And, that's ultimately what happens. These guys don't last forever. They want to get out while their body's still kicking, and John Cena and The Rock have both been able to get out and make something else outside of wrestling, which has been acting roles and acting careers. And I'll even include Batista in that too, who has came back periodically. But this was a match for history. That was actually, it's crazy to think that was 12 years ago at this point. But what was your guys' thoughts on that match particularly? Was that something that kept your interest in WWE at the time? And what else do you hope to see for WrestleMania in the future? Moving forward, what else do you want to see from us here at Too Heavy as we talk about previous matches in wrestling history? But again, my name is Zach with the Too Heavy Wrestling Podcast, and thank you guys for watching.